We can go ahead and get started.
Yep, you're good to go.
All right, well, good morning. Good morning. I'm Melissa with Counseling and Psychological Services. I am a clinical case manager and counselor, and I am a registered yoga teacher as well. And I love being able to practice with you who are here with me this morning, but also those of you who will be joining us virtually at a later time. We're going to take today just to relax and unwind and really practice a sense of calm and mindfulness and meditation just to get ready for this season of finals, this final stretch in the semester. And so we'll start in a comfortable seated position. And as you settle into that space, take a moment just to arrive into this present moment, into your body. Notice any thoughts or feelings that might arise for you as you prepare to take this break. And as those thoughts pop up, just allow them to pass by as if a cloud moving through the sky. Noticing them without judgment, but just letting them flow. And then start to bring your attention to your breath without changing the breath, just noticing the quality and the texture of your breath right now. Perhaps noticing the temperature of your breath as it enters in through the nose and out through the nose. And notice where you experience the movement of breath in the body. Where does the breath flow? And let's go ahead and start by just bringing our hands to our belly space. And as you inhale, let the belly button move out, expanding the belly. As you exhale, let the belly button move in towards the spine. So really feeling with the sensation of our hands, that movement of breath in our core body. You can breathe in and out through the nose, or you can start to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. On your next breath, you can bring the hands to the outside of the rib cage. So that as you inhale, the rib cage expands. And as you exhale, your hands move closer together. Notice perhaps the sound of your own breath here. And see if perhaps you can make the breath just a little louder. So that you have this sensation of touch and sound as you breathe. One more breath here. And at the bottom of that breath, go ahead and bring the hands to the chest, that space just beneath the collarbones. As you inhale, letting the hands and chest rise. As you exhale, letting the chest fall. Perhaps here, even noticing the sensation of your own heartbeat. Breath and the heart, these two key indicators of us being alive and present. You can release the hands and we'll move into a 3-part breath. So really combining all 3 of those breath spaces. So inhaling up through the belly, through the rib cage, and finally into the chest. As you exhale, letting the breath fall down from the chest all the way into the belly. Creating our 3-part breath. Letting the breath grow deeper and fuller. As you continue this 3-part breath, imagine yourself inhaling the sensation of calm and relaxation. As you exhale, release stress. Imagine that stress or tension just flowing out of the body with the breath. Inhaling calm. Exhaling stress. And then go ahead and release this breath technique. Let your breath resume its natural flow. Take a moment just to notice any spaces in the body of tension. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and bring your shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze here as you exhale. Release the shoulders back down the back body. And then just start to move with the breath, bringing the shoulders into rolls. Really noticing perhaps any tension that you're storing in the neck and in the shoulders. Seeing if you can just start to create some movement in those spaces. Just breaking it up. And then you can let that movement come to pause. Pushing the shoulders down towards the earth, we'll extend through the crown of the head on an inhale. As you exhale, let the chin drop down towards the chest. Pause here just for a moment. Find your breath. Notice any spaces of tension here. Inhale. And as you exhale, go ahead and bring the right ear over the right shoulder. As you exhale, roll the head across the front body, left ear over left shoulder. And then just moving with the breath, just start to roll out the head across the front body, back and forth. And see if you can move in such a way here that you really feel the sensation across the entire range of movement. Creating a sensation of stretch at each point. Opening up through the neck, releasing through the shoulders. Pausing at any point where you need a little bit more stretch. You can even do that, increase that sensation of stretch by supporting the stretch with the hand on the back of the head. And then perhaps take one more rotation on each side. And then the next time that the chin is facing down, you can bring the head back upright. Here we'll start to move into some sun breaths. So on an inhale, we'll sweep our arms out wide and up to frame the ears. So shoulders are still planted down. As you exhale, let the palms face out and float down towards the earth. You might even close your eyes here. We're gonna just continue to move in and out of that breath. But with the eyes closed, you might even notice that you can experience the temperature around the arms and the hands of the air around you. You can imagine that you're moving your arms as if they're wings flying through the air. And then imagining where you would want to go right now in your imagination and in your mind's eye. Where can this flight take you? Maybe perhaps bringing to mind a beautiful place, real or imagined. Noticing if the space around you, if the arms are moving through a substance like air or perhaps a substance like water. And then noticing where you experience sensation in the body with this movement. Can you feel your shoulders? Can you feel your arms? Can you feel your hands? Do you notice the core body? Can you still notice your sits bones grounded to the mat or the floor beneath you? The next times that the arms are lifted, let's pause. You can open your eyes. From here, we're gonna move into a spinal twist. So rotating the body to the right side, then letting the hands float down in front and behind you. So here with this spinal twist, on an inhale, lengthen through the spine. And as you exhale, you can start to tiptoe your fingertips into that twist a little bit further. So inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to sink into that twist. Just find the body's edge here. And once you find the edge of that twist, the boundary in your body, you can let the head face out to the side, or you can bring the head to look face behind you, stretching out again through the neck. Stay connected to the breath here. You might even bring that arm behind you back along the spine like a kickstand. Notice where the breath moves in the body in the twist. Inhale here. And as you exhale, you can release, come through center and bring the body around to the left side. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, you can let the body start to sink into that twist, maybe a little bit further. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to release into the twist. Find your body's edge here. You can use that back left arm like a kickstand, and then let the head gaze behind you if that's comfortable in your body. Notice the experience of the breath here. The way that the breath moves around the shape of the body. One more inhale here. And exhale, release that twist. And then shake it out to take any integrative movement that you need just to let the back settle. And as you feel complete with that movement, find that comfortable seat again. We're going to bring our hands out in front of us and start to bring the hips into circles. So either direction is fine. You can take little circles here, or you can take really deep circles here. Just starting to create some openness in the low back. Really grounding through the sits bones here too. So keeping, stay planted here, but really just creating that movement in the upper body. And notice maybe as you go from side to side, can you create some stretch in the side body? As you bring the body around the back of that circle, can you feel the core body engaged to support you? And then whichever way you're going the next time that you come through center, go ahead and bring the body back the opposite direction. Just creating that balance and symmetry in the body. Staying connected to the breath here. Maybe take one more rotation, and And then as you come through center, let that motion come to pause. We're going to create a little bit more depth in that side body stretch here. So here you can go ahead and walk your right arm out. So staying planted through the sits bones, just bring the body over to the right side. You can let the forearm come down to the ground if that's okay in your body. If not, you can sit on your tops of your fingertips and then go ahead and stretch, bringing that left arm over the left ear. Notice if you can feel that sensation of stretch in the left side body. Again, finding your breath here, you might explore with the edge of this stretch. Do you need a little bit more or a little bit less? Notice where you feel the body engaging your muscles to support you in this shape. Notice where the breath moves. We'll inhale, coming up through center. As you exhale, we'll let that left hand meet the ground or the mat, either on the forearm or on the fingertips, stretching into the right side body. That right arm comes up over the right ear. Noticing if this shape feels different or similar to how it felt on the opposite side of the body. And then with our breath, we're going to start to flow from side to side. So creating some dynamic movement in the shape, really warming up our spine. So we've moved into twists and now we're in side to side. Creating some heat in the muscles in our arms. But also noticing if you can stay fluid with the motion. To find a way for this shape to feel effortless. And take one more rotation on each side of the body. And then the next time that you come through center, let both of the hands just float down beside you. We're going to start now just to warm up and create some motion and some stretch in our lower body, so in our legs. So from here, you can go ahead and let the legs come out long in front of you. Take a moment just to shake them out. We've been sitting for a few minutes now, shaking out through the knees and the toes. You can go ahead and bring the feet into circles. You can use your arms as a kickstand behind you, or you can also bring the wrists into circles here. Really just opening up through those joints, releasing tension in our ankles and in our wrists. As you feel complete with that, you can bring your arms back behind you. We're going to bring our right foot in either to our calf here or all the way above the knee joint to the inside of our thigh, whichever feels best in your body. From here, we're going to inhale, creating length through the spine. As you exhale, bring the hands in front of you and start to walk forward, creating a stretch in that extended left leg. And so see here if you can just notice the edge of that body stretch. Can you feel your hamstrings releasing? Maybe notice if your knee, if the muscles around your knee are tight, if you can release that just a little bit. And when you find the edge of that stretch, you can just let the back curve into a roll. Find your breath here. And notice if as you stay here for a few moments, if you need more stretch or less stretch. You can always walk your hands forward or back. Stay connected to the breath here. And as you settle into this stretch, see if you can imagine that sensation of calm and relaxation. Just breaking up any muscle tension in the backs of the legs. Take 2 more breaths here. And at the bottom of the second breath, go ahead and bring the spine back upright and walk the body back into that comfortable seat. We'll go ahead and release both legs out in front of us. Go ahead, you can shake it out for just a moment. Windshield wiper those legs side to side. And then with our next inhale, we're gonna go ahead and bring our left foot up. So either the bottom of the foot to our calf or all the way above the knee joint onto the inside of our thigh. As you inhale, you'll lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, you'll start to walk your body down into that stretch. Just finding that space in your body where you really notice the sensation of stretch, where there's a release, but not to the point where it's uncomfortable. And notice as you engage with this stretch, as you sit into it, does your experience with it change? As the muscles release, do you find that you need a little bit more forward movement? Or do you want to stay right where you are? Listening to what the body is telling you that it needs. And being mindful about the body's wisdom and teaching us what our boundaries are. Find your breath here. Take 2 more deep breaths. And at the bottom of the second breath, inhale, lengthening through the spine, and then go ahead and bring the body back upright. We'll release both legs out in front of us. Go ahead and shake it out again. And then from here, you can bring the feet into touch. So creating the feet to look like an open book. You can bring your hands to the ankles and then just create some little butterfly motion with the knees, really opening up through the hips here. At the bottom of that motion, we'll let that pause, bring the knees upright, feet will be planted here. You can bring your arms back behind you. Create a little bit of width between your feet so that they're a little bit wider than hips length. And then just start to roll those hips side to side into that windshield wiper movement. See if you can notice the sensation of a little bit of a back massage here as you move across the floor beneath you. If this is uncomfortable in your wrists, you can always make a fist with the hands and sit up onto your knuckles instead of into the palms. And then here, as you reach one side of the body, you have the option, you can twist around behind you, extending through that arm. Inhale through center, create the twist on the opposite side of the body, extending through the back. See if here you can inhale through center and exhale, really releasing into that spinal twist. Again, seeing if you can explore making this motion effortless, free-flowing, but also noticing any spaces of openness or spaces of tension in the body as you move. And then go ahead and take one more rotation on each side. And then pause as you come through center. From here, we'll go ahead and take a comfortable seat. You can bring your hands onto your knees. Inhale here. As you exhale, let the back round behind you, creating a little C shape. You can use your arms to support that stretch by holding on to your legs.
Really see if you can create that sensation of stretch behind the shoulder blades. So really opening up through the upper back.
You can inhale, coming forward, opening up through the chest, letting the shoulders push to the back of the room, the chest to the front of the room. Let your breath grow big here, opening up through the heart space. As you exhale, roll back behind you, stretching again through the shoulders. And start to just move through this rotation, the seated cat lift, cat tuck. Really finding that sensation of stretch in the chest and in the upper back.
Take one more rotation on each side here. And then let that motion come to pause. We're going to play with this shape just a little bit. So go ahead and roll onto your hands and knees. Your wrists will go just beneath your shoulders. Knees will come just beneath the hips. So creating that same cat lift, cat tuck motion on an inhale. Let the belly drop, chin and hips rise. As you exhale, roll the back into a C shape. And then here, just start to move through that cat lift, cat tuck motion. You might notice that in hands and knees, you feel more of a sensation of stretch in the belly and the middle back. Be careful here not to lock into your elbows, so you can create just a little micro bend in the elbows. See if you can distribute your weight evenly across your hands, so really pushing that weight forward into the fingertips, not just sitting into your wrists. See if you can pair your motion with your breath here, so that as you reach the bottom of the breath, you're in one edge of the shape. And as you reach the top of the breath, you're on the other edge of the shape. So moving as you breathe and pausing in the shape in between the breaths. Take one more rotation on each side. And then coming into a neutral tabletop here, you can bring the knees a little bit wide and bring your heels together. Send your hips back over your ankles. Let the belly and head drop. So arms can either come out in front of you, or you can stack your forearms and let your head rest on your forearms. Coming into child's pose here. Taking just a moment of rest. In this shape, see if you can notice the sensation of your breath, the sensation of your heartbeat. Notice the texture of the mat or the ground beneath you. Notice the temperature of the body. Notice the echo of the motion that you have done already in this practice today, and spaces of openness and spaces of tension in the body. Take a few more breaths here. And as you feel complete, come back into that tabletop shape. Bring the knees back under the hips. We're gonna bring our hands out in front of us and then extend the body into the top of a push-up. So knees are down, our wrists are just beneath our shoulders. We're engaging through the core body here. And then from here, go ahead and bend the elbows and let the chest come down towards the mat or the ground, finding your way onto your belly. Again, here you can stack the forearms and let the head rest on the forearms. See if here you can notice again the texture of your heartbeat, Notice your breath. And as you breathe here, let the breath start to grow really deep and full. So that as you inhale, your back moves away from the ground beneath you. And the breath expands through the side body as you exhale, letting the back sink down towards the ground. Practicing our alligator breath. We're going to start to work just to strengthen our lower back, especially with schoolwork. We do a lot of sitting, and so it can be really helpful to have some core body strength and stabilization. So here, push your hips down towards the ground and see if you can really make that connection. On an inhale, bend through the right knee and just lift that right foot up towards the ceiling parallel. So the foot is flexed. As you exhale, you're going to point the toes and let that foot fall down towards the ground. Next inhale, bend the left knee, bring that foot up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, let the foot sink down. And so you'll just start to move here, lifting one leg at a time, bending at the knee. Just taking some gentle movement. And you can stay here, or the next time that you lift your leg, you can lift from the hip. So the leg is straight and you're just lifting a few inches off the ground and then letting that foot fall back down towards the ground. In this shape, your toes will be pointed. So here, creating a little bit more engagement through the core body and the muscles in the low back. Just alternating right to left, right to left. At any point, you can always go back to bending through the knees. And you can stay here alternating legs, or you might explore with lifting both legs together. Making sure that you continue to breathe. And you can stay here, or you might explore with lifting opposite leg and arm. Or lifting your arms and legs together, coming into belly down boat. And really giving yourself generous space for rest in between each movement. Take one more round, either one more alternation or one more expression of the shape. As you come down, take a moment again just to notice the breath. Notice if the breath has changed with some motion. You can bring your hands out beside your shoulders. On the next inhale, come all the way back up into tabletop for just a moment here. And then go ahead and take a couple more rounds of that cat lift, cat tuck motion, just to release out the back. As you come through center here, really planting into those hands again. On your next inhale, go ahead and bring the right knee up towards the chest, tuck the head in. So letting the knee come towards the nose. As you exhale, extend that right leg back behind you, pressing through the heel. Then we'll start to move with the breath, bringing the knee into the nose on an exhale. Inhaling, strengthening, lengthening through that back leg. So just moving on the right side of the body here. Really practicing our balance. Working on keeping our hips parallel to the ground beneath us. Take 2 more rounds of motion here. And then let that motion come to rest. Go ahead and take a few breaths in that child shape, letting the hips go back over the heels, letting the head rest on the mat beneath you. As you feel complete with that resting shape, we'll come back into our tabletop and create that motion on the opposite side of the body. So here, inhaling, extending through the back left heel. As you exhale, letting that left knee come in towards the nose. And then moving with the breath, inhaling, leg out, exhaling, knee to nose on the left side of the body. Take 2 more rounds of motion here. And then as you come back through tabletop, go ahead and take a couple of breaths again in that child shape. Feeling supported by the ground beneath you. Letting the breath grow deep. As you feel complete with that rest, coming back through tabletop here. Creating a similar balance shape on this side. Create a little micro bend in the elbows. Again, not sitting into the elbows. We'll inhale the right knee up and out and back down. So we'll start to just bring the right knee into little circles. Strengthening through our hip flexor. Really engaging the core muscles here to support us with the balance of this motion. Take 2 more circles. And then let that right knee come down to rest. You might twist here, side to side. Just releasing any tension or pressure. As you come back through tabletop, we'll create that motion on the opposite side of the body. So bringing that left knee up, back and down into circles. Engaging through the core body to support that motion to stay balanced. Take 2 more circles here. And then let that knee come to rest. Again, rotate the back from side to side, creating that little twist, just shaking out that motion. From here, go ahead and crawl forward if you're on a mat to the front of the mat. We'll tuck our heels behind us and roll back onto a seat. And then make sure that you have landing space behind you. And then bring your feet out in front of you planted. Hands can come behind the hamstring. We're gonna roll down to the mat one vertebrae at a time. Really, really slowly here. Engaging through the core body to support us as we lie down. And as your back meets that ground beneath you, take a moment just to pause. Your hands will be long by your side. If you notice that there's a space between your low back and the ground beneath you, you can just tilt your hips up just a little bit. From here, you can pull your heels in towards the body. We're going to move into our bridge shape. So here, press into the fingertips and into the shoulder blades, also into the feet. As you inhale, we'll lift the hips up. As you exhale, roll down again, one vertebrae at a time until the back is resting on the ground beneath you. And so start to just move in and out of that bridge, inhaling, rolling up, exhaling, rolling down. You can imagine here that you're holding a block in between the legs, so your thighs are pushing in towards each other for stabilization. And see if you can really pair this motion with breath, and see if you can let the motion grow long and slow so that the motion is really subtle, so that you can really feel each vertebrae of the back lifting off of the ground on your inhale and meeting the ground as you exhale. You can stay in this motion, or the next time that your hips are lifted, you can pause. If you're pausing here, you can even bring your hands to clasp underneath your back and roll onto your shoulders. If you're paused, you can stay with me here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hands, unroll the shoulders. Exhale, let the back meet the ground. Take a moment here just to bring the feet a little bit wider than the hips, windshield wiper out through the legs. Just release that motion from the bridge. As you feel complete with that motion, you can plant the feet again at hips width apart. On an inhale, you can bring the right ankle over the left knee. You can bring your hands to your legs or leave them down beside you. If this is enough sensation for a stretch for you, you can stay here. If you need a little bit more, you can bring your hands around the back of the left hamstring and pull the left leg in towards the body. Moving into our supine pigeon shape. Noticing the sensation of stretch in the hips. Again here, see if on the inhale, you can lengthen through your spine as you lie down. And as you exhale, that you can explore the edge of the body's boundary with that stretch. Do you need a little bit more? Or if it's too much, can you release a little bit? Here, really letting the breath grow deep and long. Take one more breath here. As you inhale, let the chest feel full as you exhale. If the left foot is lifted, let it meet the ground, followed by that right foot. Next inhale, you can bring the left ankle across the right knee. You can stay here if this is enough sensation for you, or you can wrap the hands around the back of that right hamstring and pull the right leg in towards the body. You might notice that this stretch feels similar from one side of the body to the other, or that they feel really different. You can roll out the ankles here, bringing them into circles. Again, letting the breath be deep and full. On an inhale, let the chest reach its fullness. As you exhale, if the right leg is lifted, let it meet the mat or the ground beneath you, followed by that left foot. Next inhale, we'll pull both of the knees in towards the chest. They can either be together or you can let them come out wide on the side of the body. Just giving yourself a little bit of an embrace here. You might even roll from side to side, just releasing out through the back body. And the next time that you come through center, you can bring your hands to your knees and start to bring the knees into little circles, really massaging out that low back where we carry a lot of our stress, especially if we're sitting at a computer or at a desk, really just releasing that space. And then the next time that the knees are in towards the chest, you can bring them back the opposite direction. And as you feel complete with that motion, you can bring the knees in towards the chest. Inhale, exhale, let the feet meet the ground or the mat. And then you can go ahead and let the legs come out long in front of you. We're gonna take some moments of rest here. If this is uncomfortable in your body to have your feet extended long, you also have the option to bring the knees back up, bring the feet wide, and just let the knees knock together. Your choice. As you find this shape, you can let the eyes come to a close, or you can find a space on the ceiling to focus and rest your gaze. And as you take these few moments of rest, see if you can go ahead and release any remaining tension or pressure from the toes, from the feet, from the lower legs, the knees, upper legs, the hips, the belly, the low back, upper back, chest, the fingers and the hands, the wrists, lower arms, upper arms, our shoulders, the neck, the space around the jaw, the face, the space around the eyes. And take a few moments just for your body to be held by the surface beneath you. A few moments of rest. As you take this rest, you may choose to bring to mind a calm place. This place could be real or imagined. And if you find yourself in that calm place, imagine all the things that you can see in that place. The colors, the objects, the lighting, the weather. Imagine the things you could smell in that place, the smell of the air around you, the temperature of that breath. Imagine the things that you could hear in that place, the music of it, the sounds of it. Imagine the things that you could feel in that place, the textures, temperatures, smoothness or roughness of it, softness. You might even perhaps imagine something that you could taste in this place. Maybe a calming drink or a refreshing sip of water. Perhaps allow yourself 1 or 2 more moments of rest in this beautiful, calm place that you've created. And know that you can return to this calm place in your mind's eye at any time. That your imagination can create a little vacation in just a moment. Know that you are not defined by your productivity and that you are worthy of rest. May today's practice be a moment of rest that can fuel you for the movement of the coming weeks as you prepare to navigate your final assignments and exams. Know that at any time you can revisit any of these movements or shapes or stretches just to release, just to restore. Go ahead and bring some little motion into the fingertips and toes, into the head, maybe bringing the head back and forth. You might even take a stretch as if waking up for the first time in the morning. And then go ahead and bring the body onto one side. You can tuck the knees in towards the chest and let the head rest on the inside of the arm. take a moment just to give yourself an embrace and to offer yourself gratitude for showing up in this practice today, for allowing yourself to rest and to move. And then as you're ready, you can find your way into a comfortable seat for our final breath of the practice today. For this breath, we will inhale our arms up. As you exhale, sweep the arms down in front of you. Take what you need right now. Is it rest? And then as you exhale, go ahead and push away anything that you don't need. Stress. So again, we'll inhale up. Exhale down. Take what you need. Inhale it into that heart space. Exhale, push away anything that you need to release, anything that's not serving you. One more. Inhale up. Exhale the arms down. Pick up what you need. Inhale that into the heart space. Exhale and release anything that you don't need. And then let the hands float back down beside you. You can bring the hands to heart center. As you prepare to re-enter your day, may you feel rested and restored. The light in me sees the light in each of you. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste. Thank you so much for letting me be with you this morning in this partnership with Care Services. It's my absolute joy to practice with you. I hope that this practice was restorative. As you prepare to go into your finals, I wish you all the best of luck with the rest of your semester, and keep an eye out for future restorative yoga events on Owl Life. Best of luck, everyone. It's great to see you this morning.
Thank you so much, Alyssa.
Yeah, thanks, Mandy, for having me.
That was great.